So this is a small demo of my crystal generator tool. Um, like there are like three tabs: large, medium, and small crystals. So the large ones are red ones, medium is the green one, and the small one is the blue ones. They're pretty much yeah, the settings are pretty much same. So if I show you one of them, like the others are pretty much identical. So the growth area is literally just the area the crystal spawns in. So if you, for instance, make this three, it like spreads out. This is more of a like an elliptical shape. So if I just go in here, um, yeah, you can see like it spawns in this mesh. No, let me just quickly switch to output again. Yeah. Um, Let me just revert it back to 1.5. Growth area is like you can basically subtract and or basically you want to subtract some of the area from the growth area, like otherwise like it's just going to stick to the edge, which I don't like. Scale, it is controls the shape of the crystal, so pretty straightforward. Yeah, scale variance is pretty much like a random shape. um you can make it point, make it something drastic so you can see it clearly. Yeah. um this is basically either it's doing the full scale 0.54 and point 0.5, or it's doing one fifth of it. There is an option to scale the top part and the bottom part. For instance, I can make this point 0.1 and it will like really make it sharp. Yeah. Same way you can do this, make the bottom part much bigger. um it's not much, but like it's something you can do. The radial attribute controls, you can notice right now like the, if I put the skill variance back to 1 1, like there won't be any variance. You can see the effect of the radial attribute. So what this does, in the center you have the highest scale, and as far as you go near the border, the scale will go down. So if you just reduce this, you'll see the effect. You can see near the border the scale of the crystals are going down pretty rapidly. This was really ugly though. Let me switch it back to one. It still looks ugly, but like less ugly. Um, Divisions is, so if I turn on the wireframe, it's literally the um, is like the vertical divisions here. The 7 1. The more you have, the more um you can have this chamfered stylized effect, like chamfered like edge damage effect. You can have more control it. So if I just increase it to something like 20, right? Yeah, you can see you just have like more of that edge cracked effect. Pivot offset is just more like a safety feature. So if you have it to zero, sometimes um the mesh will just be sticking out the bottom part of the mesh. So for instance, if I just make it zero, right? Yeah, you can see this, right? You can see this bit like it's just sticking out. It looks ugly, so you can just have a negative offset um to hide that part. Scattered is pretty simple. Like it just controls how many crystals you need have, and seed is like the random seed for their placement. Orientation is a cool one. This basically defines how the crystals are, like the direction the crystals are pointing at. So For instance, if I put this at 2, it should be more straightened. Yeah, and 3, it should be even far more straightened. You can see it. Kind of, actually, it kind of looks kind of cool. Not gonna lie. Um, if you go down below 1, like it will kind of spread out more, make it 2, spread out even more, put it back to 1. Orientation randomness, it just adds a little bit of randomness to their orientation right now. Um, so 0 is like zero randomness, 1 is like completely random. It don't the orientation point don't have any effect on it. So if I just put it to point 0.5, right, it's now a 50-50 mix between um the orientation point and the complete randomness. Orientation seed is the seed for randomness. Point 0.5 is probably too much. I just keep it at point 0.1 or point 0.2. You just have little bit of variations. Yeah. Edge damage is, you can't see any of the edge damage right now. This is basically labs edge damage tool. Um, so this is pretty performance, like it takes a lot of long time to calculate it. So when the tool is in preview mode, it won't do anything. Once you untick it, like it will do all the UVs, this kind of stuff that takes a long time to calculate. Yeah, the other crystal parts are like pretty much the same. I don't see um any reason to show them. It will probably be a waste of time. Ground smoke is the blue part. You can control the mesh scale, which is like pretty obvious. Um, Smoke mesh offset, like you can bring it up and down. Noise is, you see nothing happening almost, like other than the vertex color. What this is actually tweaking the UV. So if I just go into vertex color mode, right, and we just increase the noise, you can see it's just distorting the UV. This is great, like when you're like want a bit of distortion in your um, effect. This is scale for the noise. So just go in here, filter distortion, and then just, you can see it just scales the noise. Yeah, the smoke skirt is pretty much essentially labs dart skirts tool. Like it is gives like this kind of like grounds the crystal to the um, ground smoke effects. So you have pretty much the same settings exposed here from the lab start dot skirts tool. Yeah, that is a small demo of my tool. um you can have some interesting shapes, like pretty different shapes from this. um like it's not super interesting, but like I think like that is the shapes are probably not super interesting. That is probably something to work on the next part of the tool, like in next revision maybe. These are some variances I created from the tool, like the same, they're using the same material, just a different instance. So yeah, that is pretty much the demo. Thanks.